Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be reacting to
Culture shock from living in Greece, Athens.
If you say this to a Greek here,
Ooh, it's about time they did this.
It's Kiki, or Agiliki in Greece, and I'm from Canada.
my name is Lavella, I'm from Toronto.
I'm Goran, I'm from Germany, but my roots are Persian.
My name is Alper and I'm from Lithuania, Turkey.
Maria, Australia.
Thomas from Argentina.
My name is George Spirou from Athens.
I'm Avram. Originally I'm Greek, but I've been living abroad many years.
My name is Costa and I'm coming from Athens, from Greece, the most beautiful country in the world.
How long have you been living in Greece? For about 2 months. I've been here for 2 months now.
1.5 years.
Almost 2 years.
Very short.
It'll be 3 years in November.
Culture shock from living in Greece. So I guess the point is they're all like new to Greece then, because it all seems like a short time period.
8 years.
I just returned last year actually. I think I'm like a digital nomad.
I was born and raised here.
What was your expectation before coming to Greece, and how did you live up to that?
Before I came to Greece, my only prior knowledge to it was from the movies, like Mamma Mia or My Big Fat Greek Wedding. If you've seen those before. Honestly, like, the islands have exceeded my expectations, but coming to Athens, it was very different. Seeing the Acropolis, it's like, it's falling apart. It's not what it looks like in like the history.
Oh shit! Okay, that
It's
was
falling
honest.
apart.
I mean, to be fair though, that's what it is, like a ruins, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like kind of like falling apart. It's true.
That's
bro.
dramatic.
She ain't lying, but like damn, like straightforward, huh?
Greece was in crisis, so whenever I talk to my friends that I'm going to Greece, well, they are in crisis, why do you go there? Like, you can find a job here and you can live better. So my expectation was very low, but actually I can say that Greece exceeded my expectations.
I've been here quite a few times because I'm half Greek, so I come every summer. So my expectations have always been high because it's Greece. And so far, honestly, they're meeting them. I love Greece. I feel like there's a different energy here.
What are some culture shocks you experienced upon arriving in Greece?
Positive or negative?
Both.
So the positive things are definitely the hospitality. It's top notch. I'm really impressed on how friendly, how kind, with what a smile the Greeks welcome you, and it's not fake. It's really like from the deepest of their heart. Negative things are definitely being on time. If you make plans with people, they cancel, they have other things to do, they forget. But I try to adapt because I like that the people are pretty spontaneous. Sometimes you make plans for, let's have a coffee in a week, and then you don't feel good, or you have a tired day, or the night was short, or whatever. Some things can always happen. This is life. I like that the people are kind of
That's a
going with
long
the flow.
time to plan a coffee date, a week in advance.
So you have to really stick to this appointment because 2 weeks ago you said you're going to have coffee at that day.
I guess the lack of cancel culture, perhaps, the lack of care when it comes to
Lack of cancel culture.
I don't understand.
Well, you know how here in the States you can cancel somebody, can't you stop? So that's kind of like a weird thing to say though. That's like a really important in your life, cancel culture.
Let me see what she's gonna say.
getting things done at a certain time or a certain pace. From Toronto, where I'm from, it's very easy to tell somebody, hey, if you don't get this done, there are going to be repercussions. If you say this to a Greek here, they will laugh in your face and close the door and say, see you tomorrow because my working hours are done, they're over.
I'm from Philadelphia.
Yeah, I think that's like the southern culture, like southern Europe, but also, you know, southern here, like in the Caribbean too, like the, you know, the, in Miami too, very much. I feel like that chill, laid back, kind of like everything is at their own pace. Nothing is. She's coming from more of that like Germany / Eastern Europe, where you know everything is on time.
You see,
everything's straight.
she's coming from where she's coming, and she's putting to push it there.
Right, and
She
she's like,
shouldn't do
that's
that.
kind of. I mean, I get it. I kind of dealt with the same thing.
And city life is very different than Greek life. There's a thing called Greek time, where if a Greek says a certain time that they'll arrive, just expect it to be 2 hours later.
That's called the Haitian time.
The slow pace of living, oh, that was so hard for me. Because, like, I come from the city, I want things to be quick, I want things to be done, but Greeks love to take their time, they love to be present.
I feel like in...
That's tough, right?
That's easy for me.
Slow pace of living is nice, right?
That's
but
easy.
when you want
It's
shit
not
done,
nice for you.
No. Like, listen.
don't
What
understand
I'm
it.
saying, it would be like, okay, in my head it would be nice, but when you think about, oh, I want shit done, and like it takes like forever to get something done that you need done fast. That shit's annoying. So you kind of like can't pick and choose. You have to take the good with the bad.
Yeah.
So, but because in my head, you know, you could kind of idolize it. It's like, oh, it's nice. There's like no rush. But then when you need something done, there's no rush. You know, so it's kind of
Like what would be an example?
I don't know. Like, okay, if you need your car fixed, like you need a car and you bring it to the person and you need it fixed.
In
like
Greece?
Yeah, in Greece. Let's say.
We're walking everywhere. You can walk.
No, you can't. Like, if you live in a small town and you need to go to a big town, you can't just
You
walk.
could have another family relative.
So you're gonna inconvenience other people now? Is that what you're saying?
I don't know.
No, I'm just saying if you need a car fixed, like okay, and the person's gonna take 2 weeks to get something done that would take like 2 days to do, that's annoying because you need it done. So it's like.
So what do you think? If the car place is just stocking up on cars?
No,
You're not gonna assign.
I don't know. I'm just giving it an example. Like that's kind of what an example, because you asked for an example. So that's what I would think. Like if you need a car done pronto, and they're just taking their time, having a lunch break, like the coffee break, smoke break, all these breaks add up. The time you could be working. If people are that chill, on one hand is good, it's nice, but on the other hand, you need shit done. It's kind of I think my parents kind of dealt with that in Spain too a little bit.
What do you mean?
Because when they needed something fixed, and they would everything is mañana, and mañana. It would take mañana, like they have to leave now, and the day they're leaving, I can come the day after they're leaving, and they stayed there for 2 weeks, and they couldn't get it done in 2 weeks. So it's like, on one hand, they like how everything is relaxed, the pace of life, but on the other, when they need something done, it's mañana,
Melbourne, my city, things are open very early in the morning. Cafes
Why
close
you
pretty
wait so long
early
to
at
get
4 or
to
5,
coffees?
and I don't understand.
No, it's not wait so long. It's like it got hit. You got hit. You need fixed. Whatever. I don't know. It's just an example, though. I'm just saying.
Where people find time to get coffee because people work. I think it's more on your break from work. But in Greece, cafes and a lot of shops are open very late. Getting a coffee is something you do in the afternoon and at night. And I don't really like this. I think there's a bigger nighttime culture. Shops are open later. You go shopping, not just bars and clubs. It's normal to ask someone out for a drink at 11 p.m. But in Melbourne, if you go out for a drink in Australia, usually it'll be like right after work.
For me, it's the opposite because in Argentina we used to hang out later, dinner at 9, maybe it's early for us. We are very similar with all the Mediterranean countries.
In Toronto, everybody's...
I would think Latin American countries have more that chill vibe, so I think for him should be probably less cultural.
Shock.
Cultural shocks, and from Argentina.
very kind of considerate of their space and their kind of bubble. And here, for sure, one of the things that was a little bit crazy to me is the first time that I went on the metro, and it was definitely rush hour because we were like a bunch of, fish in a tin can. And everybody was like kind of helping each other stand up, and like somebody was falling over and they would like help them over. And for me, if you were to do that in Toronto on a subway, everybody would like start yelling, "Why are you touching me?" and start running around and acting crazy. Everybody here was extremely helpful. And I think that was definitely like a big wow for me, but in a good way.
In Australia, I text a lot, and a lot of people.
Yeah, maybe people are a little more confrontational here, like with the whole touching, kind of. I guess I don't know. Depends kind of where that Latin culture. If you're dealing like with more like Latin people, they may be okay, but if you're dealing with more American side people, they would probably be more like, oh.
You see, I don't know that.
I can see that.
Message, social media. And here I feel like
Also depends on the context too.
people are happier to just give a confirmation call.
I remember that I was surprised because they drink a lot of frappé or espresso, and I didn't know what was that. I thought it was Fernet with Coca-Cola because in Argentina we drink that, and they smoke a lot.
Yes. There's not much difference. Even the mentality, mindset, the way that they live is exactly what I left behind. So from my side, my culture shock is not to have a culture shock.
Have you ever lived abroad or you have just been English?
Yes, I've lived abroad, and I've lived abroad twice.
What are some reverse culture shocks you've experienced?
When you live abroad, you think in English, you work in English, you speak in English, so when you come back to Greece, you start also speaking in English sometimes, maybe thinking in English, maybe having dreams in English also sometimes. Also, when you're used to live abroad, people are driving usually more careful in most of the countries.
Whenever you go in Greece, you need to be very, very careful, especially in the Greek islands that they don't have good roads.
The most cultural shock is probably the way that people are driving here. Another thing, maybe positive, food portion at the restaurants. It's really good compared to not abroad.
I believe we are quite rude, especially in the public sector. In bureaucracy procedures, there is difficult to handle for anyone, not only for foreigners.
The first word that I learned, Malaga.
He said rude in the public sector.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. I mean, people in public sector here are rude too.
Yeah.
In DMV, like, ooh. Yeah, so
But it can be monotone, and if you got used to this, what you call that, slow-paced lifestyle, going into bureaucracy, things have to be on schedule. There's a kind of task that's already set forth.
I also think it has to do with people dealing with entitled people too, because a lot of people feel entitled, so like it's just it builds up to a point where you just I can understand it.
So the taxi driver took me from airport to Moscow. I think he repeated Malaka for 45 times.
What do you like and what you don't like about living in Greece?
In general, in Europe, everything is, I think, more beautiful. And so I just love the look and feel of the ancient culture, the little streets. Everything is a lot more colorful than, for instance, in Canada. I'm very into healthy food. With that said, you can go to Greece and just go to a regular taverna, and I feel like it's automatically just like good, fresh food. Whereas in the States, you kind of have to be very strategic of like, I'm going to a vegan, gluten-free, healthy place.
I like the warm.
Yeah, I think there's some truth to it. I don't think you can blindly go anywhere in Greece and just, let's get some gyros and that's going to be healthy food. I don't think that, but I do think here in the States you probably got to think a little bit more, where you want to go eat. You kind of look at the calories, all that stuff. I think there is some truth to that, but at the same time, I don't believe that everywhere in Greece is absolutely healthy too, because they do have their own fast foods too. Like, we see gyros with fries, I wouldn't consider that's like a healthy food, the fries and everything. So, yeah.
But I don't think they're made like with like chemicals and stuff like that.
Yeah, but it's still fried foods though. Fried foods is inherently not healthy.
Like some people are really generous with work, with food, with presents, with compliments. They're really generous and they share everything.
Very good food. Unfortunately, that make us fat. They get faster.
I know what I just said. It's hard about the Greek time, but it's helping me a lot to slow down because I feel like I'm experiencing life a lot more enjoyably here. That's what I love about Greece is people really take the time to just enjoy, and I think that's really important in this life.
Greece has a really rich culture of music. Concerts are very accessible. There's always a lot of live music at restaurants and squares.
The first thing is the ancient Greek history. That's why I chose to live here. I really love it. The second thing, the cats. I love the cats.
Yeah, I think for anybody who loves history, Greece would be very, very interesting, because there's so much historic stuff. Greece, Italy, France too. Germany if you like a little later history, but if you like early history, Greece is definitely the place to be.
Cats. I always have cat food in my backpack when I am walking just to feed the cats. I love the weather in Greece. Maybe in summer here in Athens is terrible, but you can always be with your t-shirt all day. I like that it's a very safe country, at least comparing with my country. Maria also can walk at any time.
Wherever you go in the Greek suburbs, it is quite safe for a woman to walk till 12 in the night. When you're living abroad, you understand how safe is Athens, how safe is Greece.
Well, I've been living abroad many years, and the fact that I had to always be indoors, just enjoy my Guinness. But here you can just go by the beach and enjoy the food, the view, the sunset. It's like priceless. For me, it's a reason to move permanently to Greece.
Also, living in Greece, you get to speak the language of the gods, which is the Greek language, of course. However, that also gives some distinct accent, unfortunately.
In terms of what I don't like about Greece, especially if you go out at night, everyone smokes and it's indoors. So yeah, I'm not crazy about that.
I mean, people are...
smoking indoors allowed in Greece. Ooh, that's tough.
Smoking in the hospitals still even now, because I'm working in the hospital. Personally, I'm afraid very much from smoking. I don't like the smoking.
You can smoke in the hospitals? That's rough.
In Greece, it's too much.
The bureaucracy is the most problematic.
I think bureaucracy. I think it's just such a big element here every single day, whether it comes to documents or literally anything. It's such a big part of your life that if you need something done quickly, it's very difficult.
I don't know. I feel like bureaucracy, we keep hearing all across Europe reactions. Yeah. We saw it in Italy, we saw it in Germany. Maybe it's just a European thing, not just Greece in itself.
Brothers got their residency approved in January, and
I mean, honestly, you can say the same bureaucracy about the States too. I think bureaucracy is probably a thing to any foreigner that comes to a foreign country, is a bureaucracy thing. Because as a person living there, you don't have to deal with as much bullshit. Coming in, you have to, deal with immigration, then have to get your employment card, license, whatever you want to call it, driver's license. So there's naturally, you kind of restarting your life, so there's more bureaucracy. So I think it's not like a country specific. I just think it's anywhere you come, you're going to have to deal with some stuff that you didn't have to deal with your home country. So it just is what it is.
And it's almost September, and we're still waiting for the papers. And they said 2 months. So,
I don't like that many people are not efficient. I have the feeling that people make their life more complicated, and they're not so structured. Sometimes I'm missing the logical thinking. I don't want to say that people...
Yeah, the efficiency thing, back when I was in Lithuania, a lot of people, we just don't know the stereotype. We do stereotype stupid Americans, whatever. The thing is, though, they're stupid. You can call it stupidity, but it's just efficiency. Like, for example, streets. Like here in Lithuania, we have streets is named like after a person. Like Jonas Street, another person's street. This here street, like the efficiency of the roads, it's so efficient. It's numbers, like northwest with the numbers. It's so simple. Like I don't need a GPS. I can, like, you tell me an address, I can have a general idea where that place is. In Lithuania, you tell me an address, I have no idea what it is. Like, I have no idea where that. I have no idea. I need a map.
You need the map.
Yeah, and they talk so much shit about, oh, Americans dumb, that this that. But when it's something so simple with the streets, like the, what do you call it? Like, I don't know, not GPS, but just navigation. It's so complicated. It's so inefficient. Versus here, like the navigation is just so. I don't need a map. I don't need living in a city here. I don't need a map. Tell me the address. I'll know where it is. Like it's so simple. That's like the biggest. Anybody who comes here is wow. Like, you know, my friends, my family is wowed by the simplicity of the street systems. How easy it is, and the whole block system too. Like we don't have blocks in Lithuania. You know, like it's so well done. Like that simplicity of it.
How is it in Europe? So when you're like,
because you see, the reason they are able to do it here because it's all manufactured kind of together, right? There's no like in Europe. Historically, somebody built a house there, somebody built a house there, and then you kind of pave the roads around the houses because the cars came later. You know, so you pave the road around the houses, so it's all like disorganized. Here, you build the houses around the road, because when you started a city, you started with the roads, you know, because it's very new, relatively new compared to Europe. So you started with the roads, you build the roads, and then you build the houses around the roads. So you are able to have the roads all in parallel with each other, you know. So that's like, you know, when we do those, US versus Europe thing, I never heard it mentioned, now that I think about it, but that's a big, the navigation system here in the States is way, way, way better than in Europe.
We don't think logical, but I think maybe too emotional often and not structured.
Greeks love to talk after dinner for hours, and it's cool. It was cool at first. Like on the weekends, it's fine for me. But like when it's like almost an everyday thing, and when we're sitting there for like 2 hours, all I want to do is go to bed. Sure.
The buildings, the infrastructure is very. This was another problem, especially in the winter time, because it's a summer country. Okay, all the tourists, they see on the good part, and then after summer they leave, but you ended up with the winter, even if there's a little bit snow, everything is chaotic for 10 days.
What I don't like is difficult because I love everything, but if I have to say something, I think the infrastructure is not the best in the country.
The street structure here, cars not stopping when the light is getting red, buses not being on time, people don't having a feeling for private space, so
sometimes
buses not being on time is tough, because the whole, Europe is good with public transport kind of implies it has to be on time, because otherwise it's not really good if you don't know when you get to a place.
Yeah, that's scary.
So that kind of really goes against the good public transit in Europe narrative.
Greeks can be difficult with keeping boundaries between family or between friends, for example. We might jump and ask personal questions.
Personal space, I'm assuming. Either personal space or like maybe with like suggestions, telling others what to do, like like giving your opinion when it's not exactly asked for, you know.
But this is just how we are. There is no bad intention behind this.
Yeah. So I guess the opinion, it's not like they're intending bad. It's just like they feel like they have something to say and they say.
Of course, the jobs, the Greeks, they cannot live from our salaries. Capable persons who have good students, doctors, lawyers, in many, many fields, they have to immigrate in a way they should stay in Greece. Not literally. In the long-term impact, they will not be good for the country.
Micronationalism here, because in Greek last name you can understand where you are from. To hear, even in the initiation of the conversation, like, where are you from? This was a little bit annoying after some point.
I think it's very difficult at the beginning that you cannot throw toilet paper in the toilet.
It's funny when you leave Greece though and you do throw toilet paper, it feels like you're doing something a little bit wrong.
This is the whole, the pipes and the... We see that. And once again, I think it's more of a European thing than a Greek thing.
You need to plan every time you need to take a shower.
I'm coming back every time I'm like, come on, I'll just do a shower. I shower after 2 hours.
Exactly.
What is the Greek mentality like?
We are really expressive. We like to express our feelings, positive and negative feelings. So that's probably good sometimes, but that's also bad.
They are very open-minded into some perspective. At the same time, maybe they can be a little bit conservatives. They are conservatives a little bit maybe into the religious perspective when it comes to marriage, let's say.
Living in a place with good weather makes you happier, but it maybe makes you sometimes less motivated to chase your goals. There are also many stereotypes. For example, Greeks or Mediterranean people are perceived as working less. However, based on many EU numbers, EU calculations, we actually tend to work more hours than many of the other European countries. So this is a stereotype that we need to break.
What advice would you give to someone who would like to move to Greece?
You have to be patient to live here.
To embrace not having to stick to a strict schedule, to embrace the nighttime. Maybe that's not good if you're a morning person, but it's very nice to be able to relax into the evening, especially hot summer nights. Sometimes you need patience because people sometimes come late to things. Sometimes shows will start a bit later than they say.
They should come willing to be sociable. We Greeks are very sociable. We like to meet new people, especially in person, not so much throughout social media.
Just make sure that you feel confident and happy with your decision before you do it. I had zero doubt in my mind that I wanted to move to Greece. So when something is hard or goes wrong, I'm not like, oh my god, I don't freak out because I'm like...
Yeah, but she's, it's kind of hard for me to take advice from her when she lived, let me see if I can speak on it.
She went to Canada.
No, but she lived in Greek for I think not even 2 years.
Oh.
So
she's saying, she's Greek too. She is Greek too.
Oh, well, I'm seeing the Canada flag.
Yeah, she lives in Canada, but her family, she's been to Greece before. She's Greek.
No, I know, but there's difference visiting Greece and living. And she's giving I'm very happy with my choice 2 months in. Of course you're happy 2 months in the honeymoon period.
Oh.
If she lived in the country for a decade and then she can say, oh, I'm very happy. Then, I can take it seriously.
Yeah. That's true.
I'll figure it out. I want to be here. Whereas I see in, for instance, the Facebook groups where you can tell people have just heard, oh, Greece is amazing, I'm going to go there, and then something doesn't work out, their apartment falls through, something goes wrong, and they're in this panic mode of, oh my god, what do I do? Oh, Greece is so difficult, everything's so hard.
Yeah, because the thing is, it's very important to understand the grass is always greener on the other side. Even when we do these reactions, most people portray the positive. So it's everything is so good, so good, so good, right, but, there's a reality too. It's not always everything so good.
To move to Athens. Athens is a very big capital. If you are a party animal, if you want to do different stuff, different culture you want to taste, this is a perfect place. But if you are looking for serenity, peace, chill, the islands are amazing for this. But in between, it's difficult to find in between. Either you are in the middle of chaos or you are in the middle of nothing.
Middle of nowhere, right?
I hope you guys enjoy.
Very interesting.
This is cool.
Hold up, let me see if I can find where they set the days for how long they lived there.
This was in crisis, so whenever...
They showed it somewhere in the earth.
Yeah,
there you go.
2 years.
Yeah. Let me find the girl. Kiki, yeah.
What's your name and where are you from?
Hi, I'm Elisa. I'm from the US. My name is Kiki, or Giliki in Greece, and I'm from Canada.
My name is Lamella. I'm from Toronto.
I'm Golden. I'm from Germany, but my roots are Persian.
My name is Alper and I'm with a new name, Turkey.
Maria, Australia.
Tomas from Argentina.
My name is George Spirou from Athens.
I'm Avram. Originally I'm Greek, but I've been living abroad many years.
My name is Costa and I'm coming from Athens, from Greece, the most beautiful country in the world.
How long have you been living in Greece?
For about 2 months. I've been here.
Right. She lived here for 2 months and she's saying she's very happy with her decision. I can take that seriously. 2 months is a vacation.
Yeah. Guys, of course, let us know your thoughts. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the Discord, and as always, share as much kindness as possible.